Hello all. Today I have a lovely package from Accurascale, just delivered from the post. This is my first Accurascale locomotive as opposed to an Irish Railway Models locomotive. Their Irish Railway Models is Accurascale's sister company, just for obviously in the name, Irish outline models. So this is my first Accurascale model in their branding for an English model. If you don't know, it's a class 89 in the original Swallow livery. Quite a fan of that livery, and I quite like the class 89. I think it looks really cool. So I said when they released the images and stuff like that, I had to get one. So I got the DCC sound logo. They had a slight delay with the DCC sound one, so they've now in stock and have been shipped out, as you can see here. So we'll do a little unboxing and then do some close-ups of the logo, and then I do also have I had to get these two fine gentlemen to put in, so I think it's great. They look really cool. Got these a little while ago before the logo, so I will be taking apart the model and installing the drivers. So let's get on with it. Little box cutter, nicely packaged, good thick box. So let's see how we get on. And as you can see, I have not actually looked at this yet. I thought I'd do a proper unboxing on camera. So it's my first time seeing the model in real life. I have seen early production samples at the October show last year, I think, in Ireland. Irish Railway Models had one in the display cabinet, and I thought it looked really cool. So, packaging, there we go. There she is. A bit of weight to it. Get rid of the big box out of the way. And here we go. And I'll just zoom these in a little bit. There we go. So yeah, there she is. I love the way they did like special boxes for it. It's not just your standard Accurascale box. I think that's really cool. So obviously on the front we have I'll take it out of it's got a nice plastic protective sheath on it to help protect it, like most of their things do. Take it off to get rid of the shine, so that's nice. Rid of that. So here we are. It's a nice matte box, lovely. As you can see, 89001. So they only made one, unfortunately. I think they're really cool. It's a shame they didn't get to build more of them, but just came at the wrong time apparently. So we have our BR brush class 89 Intercity Swallow 8009, or sorry 89001, 1/72 scale or 00 gauge. It's in collaboration with Rails of Sheffield, which is really cool. And then on this side we just have our addresses, Rails of Sheffield and Accurascale, and then the not suitable for children under 14, and then the CE mark and UK quality, and the box is recyclable. And yeah, it'll keep the box. On that end we just have Accurascale.co.uk and Rails of Sheffield. The other side, this being the sound one, we have a little swallow there, Accurascale, and then optimized for ESU lock sounds. As I said, this is the DCC sound version, so it'll come pre-installed. My first time actually buying a DCC sound loco as opposed to a DCC ready and then buying a sound decoder. So I don't have to fit a sound decoder. Now I will be taking it apart anyway to put the drivers in, but and then on this side we have our little our barcode and little picture, and yeah, as you can see, DCC sound fitted, and I got it in the original Swallow livery. And then on the back is nothing. It's just plain black. It's just a plain black box. So that's the box tour. So we better crack it open and have a look at it. The exciting part. So as it just slides out. Nice and slow. Almost there. There we go. So the back of that is just blank. So I'll put that aside. So what do we get? Oh, get a cool little. Oh, it's coffee stains. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Operating manual. Again, I haven't watched any reviews about this or any packaging, so this is legitimately my first time seeing any of this. That's really cool. I like they did a similar thing with the IRM did the A-Class, and they did a similar thing when they made the manual look like a era specific thing with advertisements and everything. So this is really cool. So yeah, we have information booklet must not give to the public. Accurascale operating manual 89. That's really cool. Issue 1. Yeah. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to have a quick flick through it, but that's really cool. There's a little history. Prototype ordered, all the pictures. Feel free to pause this if you want to have a proper read of it. Hopefully you can see it. I'm sure you can. Yeah, that's really cool. National train. Very nice. That's really cool. Lovely pictures. Little advertisements and stuff, and then went into GNER. Driver's eye view. Picture with the mixed rake of BR ones and Intercity. Into the driver's thing and the cab as well. And then back when it was preserved. Very good. And that's it. But yeah, that's really cool. I love the coffee stains and stuff. Really cool. That's like, what else we got? Lock sound. Oh, that's great. We have a little function key. And then on the back as well. I'll need that for when I program it in. That's really cool. And then what else do we have? We have a little booklet, or a little notification thing. Please read these instructions. You are operating your model for the first time. Very good. Unpacking intended use. I will read this off camera, by the way, in case the Accurascale police are watching. I will watch this. I will read this before I operate it, I promise. Yeah. Then very good. Got our blown out diagram. Yeah, see it like that. I do it that way. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Go. So you can get a full shot of it. Yeah. There you go. It is crazy how many parts go into a model like that. You kind of look at it and go, it's not that. You know, it's not that many parts. When you actually watch it, that's crazy. So, very cool. Tag decoder access, you do the body shell. Very good. Blanking plates. Pantograph. And this has one thing I'm very excited for is this has a fully operational DCC pantograph, which is the first loco I've ever had with one of them, so very excited to have a go at that. So that's a little your blowout thing and that. And then what's the last thing? Speaking of the pantograph, yeah, so pantograph is controlled by DC decoder, blah blah blah. DC models pantograph is a small chip to hold it, small clip to hold it down the down position to release supply. Yeah, very good. You can have a quick read of that. Okay, the QR code. There we go. Grand. Now we move on to our actually having a look at the logo itself. So nice chunky bit of foam. So there it is. Oh, wow, I think I'll zoom these in a little bit more. There we go. Get a proper look at it. Oh yeah, and like I said, they're very, Accurascale packaging is very good. Lots of thick foam, good quality cardboard. Let's pull it out. And there goes polystyrene on the ends. Very nice to see. Just put them back in there. looks like there's something. Oh, you have little detail. I'll come back for the little detail packs in a minute. Yeah. And another little bit. Wow. So yeah, as you can see, lots of extra packaging has gone into this, so it's a good heavy locomotive, so it needs it. That way, you got your outer case, that side, the top, and then pull that up and release, and then even foam on the inside of the packaging as well, so very, very well packaged. Hats off to Accurascale for that. Will she release? She will. Yep. So I can get that back together and just put that all aside. Right, so there we go, and then there's a nice cloth over to protect it. Oh wow. Ah, that looks really cool. Yeah. Wow. That's really cool. The detail is incredible. And the paint and everything on the bogies and everything, that's wow. Yeah, you can see. That's very nice. Very, very nice. I've never seen the actual loco in real life. It's on my bucket list one day to go over and visit it and hopefully see it in action. So I must have a look at that and see if it's possible. But yeah, and the detail on the pantograph, very nice. And then even the little aerials and everything, be very careful with them, you know, if you can see them. But yeah, on either end, try not to drop it. Yeah, and there's the front. There's one thing I love about the 89 is I love the light arrangement. I'm not going to say it's unique because there probably is another train out there that has, their loco that has a similar light configuration, but I love the straight lines and then the 3 lights behind them and the glass. I think it's really cool. You got your wiper, little NEM pocket, got your sprung buffers, lots of finely fitted details, separately fitted wiper, electrical pipes, vacuum pipes, or air pipes, or whatever they are. Yeah, wow. I love all the the warning stickers and everything are very very well detailed. Yeah. Sorry. Incredible. And then the nameplate. And the lovely Intercity Swallow livery logo and everything. Crazy. And then the little overhead electrical symbols. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Then underbody detail. You got your Accurascale. There we go. Your bogies and everything. Now I'm sure there's plenty of other reviews of these online that'll do a far better job than I am of doing close-ups and stuff like that, but I just thought I'd do a quick review. Yeah, oh, that's really cool. I love it. Hats off to Accurascale. Very nice. Yeah, it's good weight in it as well, and it's a good size. You know, good size. What should I do next? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a little break, do a little tidy up, and I'm going to figure out how to take the body shell off to put the drivers in. Yeah, so I'll be back. So I'm back. I've now consulted the manual. I actually missed a section when I was going through it for you to see. On the back of your one where it tells you what to do is a lovely little guide about your lubrication, your general care, some acknowledgements, your warranty and spare parts. On this side there is removing the locomotive body shell, which is what I'm going to do now, and then a nice handy little guide for your driver fitting, which I have. So that's the reason I'm taking it off. So yeah, so basically same as a lot of the IRM models, and that is just more models, just 4 little clips, so no screws or anything, so we'll give it a go. I have all of my various plastic spudgers to get in there depending on what size it is and that. Now I don't have a cradle, unfortunately, to like sit the locomotive in upside down nice and safely, so what I'm doing is I'm using the bit of foam that came on top. I also have a desk mat which is kind of soft, but the great thing about the bit of foam that came with it, and probably a handy tip for anyone else doing this, you don't want to rest it upside down because all the weight would be on the pantograph and it's being powered, you don't want to damage it. And then there's the two little aerials at either end. So the bit of foam is a perfect width that you can roll it over onto its roof, and it's resting on just this bit between here and here, which there's no detail like that can get broken. There's a little vent here, but that's it, and a few rivets and things, but it's very clean, so you don't want to rest it on the pantograph or the little aerials because you don't want to damage them. So what I can do is rest it just there, and you can see that's now nice and safe, not going to get damaged. And I have these little like guitar pucky things, so we'll have a look. Should be about here-ish, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Here's one. Should I shuffle it? Nope. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, this is gonna be tough because the bogey is quite proud, so it's gonna be tricky. Right. Yeah, it's a tight fit, alright. Maybe one of my other, like, entangled ones, maybe. Yeah. Prise it open. Get in there. Oh yeah, it's gonna be tricky. Yeah. You know what, I'm gonna do this off camera because this is gonna be a bit tricky. Yeah. I'll be back. And I'm back. As you can see, I managed to get the body shell off. It wasn't too bad. It was just a little tricky. I'm always extra super careful the first time I'm taking something apart because I've no idea. And actually, one big word of warning that they don't tell you in the manual is, you see these little focus, let's try it that way. Yeah, you see here these little pipes, they're actually connected. You can see they've got like a little connector. They actually physically connect into the orange thing there. Yes, they're there. You see, they actually physically go into there. So you have to pull them out first. Now the manual doesn't say that, so just be careful if you're pulling your body shell off. Before you pull too hard, they'll actually, there's one either end, you'll end up breaking them. Now luckily I didn't. I kind of was looking, it wasn't caught, what's anything caught? So you have to like, they just pop out. So you just have to make sure you pop them out and put, like, kind of bend them slightly to the side so they don't catch. Yeah, so as you can see, there's one either end. So other than that, it's not too bad actually. Make sure you have, sure you have lots of like plastic spudgers, like really skinny ones, because the problem with the bogies are quite proud. So where the clips are, if you have one side, you have to move the bogey out of the way, but then that blocks the other side, so you have to kind of wiggle it through. But it's grand, it's not too bad. So let's have a look at the inside. So the inside, you obviously have your pantograph motor there, and then there's no wire to disconnect. It's done by those 3 contacts there, which is really cool, because I was easing it off nice and easily, thinking, oh, there's going to be a little connector to do, but no. Just, sorry, get the focus. Come on, there we go. Yeah, so that's your pantograph motor with your 3 contacts, and then there's nothing really else on the inside. Yeah, just your light lenses. Yeah, so that's it for the top part. The bottom part, the actual locomotive itself, has a nice big speaker. Nice, I think they call it a Accuratrash speaker. Yeah. Yeah, of course it is. Says it right there. Yeah, there's your 3 contacts for the pantograph. So when putting it back on, it only goes back on one way, because obviously if you put it on the other way, the contacts aren't going to touch and your pantograph won't work, and it probably won't fit. So just be mindful of that. And then you have your little light bar for your cab. There's your cab area. Nice. I don't know if you're able to see it because I'm trying to get the angle right. But yeah, there is a good bit of cab detail in there. Sorry that the... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Yeah, so nice, good bit of cab detail, a couple of shelves, nice posters on the wall. The seats have nice armrests and everything, so, and some controls and everything. So yeah, and then the other end is the same as far as I can tell. So that's really cool. And you have your decoder there. As I said, this is the DCC sound already fitted, so you have your sound decoder already put in, built-in speaker, connections, everything. And there's a good bit of weight, like this whole side bit is metal. Yeah, and all your different connections for your different lights and everything, so really cool. Now I have decided to run this pantograph at the rear, so I want to put the drivers in the other end. Maybe that's the wrong way. I did do a quick Google and I couldn't really figure out which is cab 1 and cab 2. So I've just decided the way I think it'll look the coolest, or my preference is I'm going to put the drivers in this end. So I'll actually just zoom you in a little bit so I can do the drivers. So as I said earlier, here's my little pack of Accurascale drivers with 2 fine gentlemen there, to which I've had the pleasure of meeting in real life, and lovely people. I think it's really cool that they get their own staff to be the models for them. Yeah, so that's really cool. So yeah, just come in a Ziploc bag with your code and everything, and then they come in a nice plastic container. So I'll get them out. So there we go. You have your plastic container there. We open that up, and we have 2 little Ziploc bags. So there we go. There's our driver. Oh, alright. There he is. Excuse my fingers. It's still focusing. Happy days. Yeah, so really cool. Lovely, really detailed. So really cool. And I just gotta... It ought to help if I just take them out of the bag. They want to come out. Get it. Yeah. Take a driver. There we go. So we have, yeah. There we go. That's a good shot of them. Yeah, so really well detailed, and you can tell who they are, so that's really cool. So they're going to be popped in. So just flip that around because I don't want to put them in the wrong end. There is, as I said, there is a lovely guide there on how to fit them. So I'm going to follow that. So our driver to the left-hand seat, left from the back. So, and then, yeah, what I'm going to do to hold them in, because I may want to take them out and swap ends at some point, so I'm not going to super glue them in. What I'm going to do is just use a little bit of blue tack. Over here, we have it. Yeah, just a little bit of blue tack. Well, I lie, actually it's white tack. Just a tiny little bit underneath. And that means if I want to remove them again in the future, it's no problem. So our driver, so just place just a little bit of white tack on the bottom, and he can slide in there. Right, fit in the seat. It's actually a good fit in the seat, so I probably don't even need the white tack, but it'll help. And then just hook him down so he's not sitting at a, have to get his posture right, for ergonomics, you know, can't have them slouching. You'd end up with a bad back. There we go. And our second one. Again, just another little bit of white tack on the bottom. Because the worst, you don't want to put it all back together and then go for one run round and you find he's vibrated loose or something. And then you have to take it all apart again. And that's the time you break something, because you're frustrated. So yeah. And then just use my stick to kind of push him into the seat properly. Yeah, get in there. There we go. Perfect. So we now have our lovely driver and... Sorry, why is it upside down? There we go. I'm not very good at this. Here we go. We now have our driver and second one. Lovely jubbly. Don't they look so happy? And we have our lights there as well. So yeah, there we go. So that was nice, easy. Yeah. So that aside, and now just refit the body shell. As I said, decoder's already in there. Everything looks fine. All the connections look all good. Wires look fine. The speakers there, everything. So next stage is just to fit our the top back on, and it's not in the shot. There we go. Yep, fit our top back on. I said remember to make sure the pantograph goes on the correct end, so I'll do that. And I kind of get it over, and then just got to make sure those little bits at the end, yeah, nice and slowly, nice and gently. Yeah, there we go. Nothing catching, and then we should hear a little. Should hear the four little. There we go. There's one pop. Yeah, the other side was fine. Cool. So that's now back on. And that's not simple as that. And then I just have to pop. As you can see, there's what I was talking about, just there. So I just got to pop that back into its little hole. Just easier said than done. I'll cut this bit out of the edit. I'm going to get a tweezers, so I'll be back. There we go. I have those two pop back in. Highly recommend you get yourself a tweezers. It's a little fiddly, but those two back in. And there we go. That's unboxing, little close-ups, and driver fitting on the Accurascale Class 89. Next stage is the most exciting, which is getting it on the track and having a nice running session and figuring it all out. So I'm going to go and program it into my DCC system and write its address and all that, and then get it on the track. So I'll see you for a running session. Thanks very much for watching so far. Sincere apologies, I completely forgot to do the detail packs. Go through them. Grant, there's your DC blanking plate in case you want to run your logo on DC, and it's got the little light switches and stuff, and there's a guide in the guide on what they do. This looks like very good. You got little extra name plates. I presume you can fit them, or are they spares, or not 100%, but yeah, so I think you can see them. Yeah, or yeah, very cool. And then you have your usual your little extra pipe work spares or extra pipe work and that, so yeah, little couplers and things, so that's cool. Yep, that's what you get. So as you can see, the loco is currently on the programming track, and it's programming into, I use E-Link with Hornby. For the moment I will get a more advanced DCC system eventually, but for the moment it does the job. So yep, so that's the plan. Just putting it all back in the box, I don't lose anything, and yeah, see you soon. So just before I do my little summary, I wanted to show you that one of my really cool things about the 89 class is they have illuminated gauges. Now I know there are other models out there that do it, but this is the first model I've had that has it, so you can just see them there. Which I think is really cool. When you're driving, the cab lights automatically turn off, and then when you stop they automatically turn back on. So, but the lights from there are bright enough that they actually do light up the figures just enough so that you do see them. So pretty cool, nice little feature. And yeah, it's separately controlled as well, so you can have them on or off as you please. Yeah, so there we have it. That's a little unboxing look at and a little running session of the Accurascale Class 89 in its original Intercity Swallow livery. Fantastic model, absolutely no issues with it. I think it's great, it looks fantastic, it's a nice weight, it runs great. I had absolutely zero issues with running on my layout. And my layout's not pristine, it's a mix of Hornby, Lima, Pico and Juff track, and you can probably hear that thread. There's a couple of little like notches in the track, so and it's not pinned down, it's all a bit loose. I have Hornby points and that, so but no derailments. So I did do a few tests through the points and no issues. Never cut out, has the stay alive capacitor in it, so no issues whatsoever. Good strong pulling power. As you can see, I'm using just a rake of old Hornby Shorty Mark III coaches. That's probably the closest rolling stock I have to what this would have pulled. As far as I know, it did. I think was it the Mark IVs were delayed, so they ran it with a set of Mark IIIs. So hopefully it's not too far from what it should be pulling. So yeah, ran fine. Absolutely no issues. Yeah, I think it's a really cool model. I love the electronic pantograph. It does have a setting where you can, if you click one of the functions, it doesn't come up. So I know my layout doesn't have overhead wires, but you can just imagine them. You also can set the height of it, so that's really good. And yeah, absolutely fantastic model and delighted with it. The figures that you can buy separately are also really good. The 3D printed ones, great detail, and they add that level of realism. So yeah, fantastic model. If you have any questions or thoughts or that, leave them down in the comments. And yeah, if you've made it this far in the review, thank you very much for watching, and this could possibly be the last review I do on this layout. I have big things coming, and yeah, stay tuned for a little announcement on that. And yeah, thanks very much, hope you have a great day. Bye now.